Nice, finally, another review. Let's check the clipboard for today's itinerary. Right, yeah. Today we have a Nintendo published Switch exclusive JRPG. You travel over several maps that, whilst not all connected at once, they are large enough to practically be considered open world. Monsters can spawn across varied environments, including your typical Twitter-verified Breath of the Wild TM Green Hills, your snow area, and you get the gist. You can then also collect materials across these environments that can be used to make items or upgrade the stats of your companions. There's a large collection of partners to use, but getting some of them is heavily RNG dependent. Due to the open roaming nature of these dubious little creatures, you can even find super high level ones in the baby starting area. It has a lengthy main storyline that can take you across these areas, and along the way you'll meet some colourful, in quite the literal sense, cast of characters that include quite a few callbacks from previous games. What else is there? There's also a lot of side missions, which range from fetch this for me to necessary for the completion of the game. When the game released online, it came under quite a lot of criticism, mainly for the graphics, as its lower resolution and frame rates can cause a bit of blurriness. Environments can become quite empty at times, but that's objective, and it kind of makes sense due to the setting of the game. Right, I think that's everything checked off. I just have to... Oh shit. This is the Xenoblade 2 list!
Done.
Wait, what game was I
here?
Oh, that makes sense. Today we're covering... Straight into it, we might as well slap on a truck and a harem full of girls that are 5,000 years old but look 12 years old, because we have ourselves a good old-fashioned isekai. Also quite fitting with the isekai theme, the story is not very good, but it's okay. You start off floating alone in a deep black void. You drop your iPhone 5C and then God himself comes and upgrades it for you and sends you back in time. I'm pretty sure the tap water from the local Weatherspoons has given me the exact same hallucination, but I'll overlook it this time. You then group up with Professor Laventon and the Galaxy Expedition team and get sent out to the wide world, where it's acknowledged multiple times that you can and will die. Unlike every other game in the series, when the Professor sends you off to complete the Pokédex, you actually have to do it this time, and instead of the reward of a participation certificate, you get the true ending of the game. And also to tame God, which is nice, I think. Throughout your journeys, the big space anus will beam lightning down, causing the big boss noble Pokemon of each area to become frenzied. This then shifts your preliminary goal to calm them down by repeatedly chucking bags of food at them. I thought this was strange at first, but then I remember when my uncle was going absolutely mental in KFC once, but he settled right down after a couple of bonus banquets to the head. It's a double-edged sword. The story can get really good at times, and quite boring at others. Like when the tutorial tends to drag on a bit. It's not as in-depth and as gratifying as the story in Black and White, for example, but it's clear that the focus this time was refining the gameplay loop. And because of that, I'm just thankful the story gets me from point A to point B. Moving on to the characters, you have your choice of the typical Pokemon silent protagonist. Choosing Akaru will make Ray your partner, and vice versa. I like how expressive your rival is in this game. It's a great improvement from the blank slate that was the Sun and Moon protagonist. But I can't tell whether all the expressions work for me though. Now all that we're missing is voice acting, and then I think we're good to go. The leaders of the Galaxy Expedition team include Captain Silene, who is one of 3 characters that actually consistently help you throughout the story, and ended up being one of my favourite characters from the game. Anyone that has beaten all of the noble Pokemon knows what Commander Kamado did, and therefore would agree with me that he should eat a big bag of dicks. Professor Laventon also exists, but I can't remember a single thing about him, apart from his stupid hat. He was a friendly, goofy guy, I think. Volo is a merchant from the Ginkgo Guild that kind of appears here and there, and bears a strong resemblance to that one trainer that had you on the ropes when you were 8. He's deeply interested in the history of the Hisui region, and I guess that's all there is to know about him. Then there are the leaders of the Diamond and Pearl clans, Adamant and Irida. At one point the game makes you choose one of the 2 to tag along with you, and therefore forces you to decide which one you like more. Ignoring the bias that I had from liking Dialga over Palkia and choosing Diamond over Pearl when I was younger, I decided to go into this decision as objectively as possible. On one hand, Adamant is super friendly with the main character during the story and helps out a lot. On the other hand, Irida has big old Sora type clown shoes. So yeah, Adam and Solos. I do jest, both characters are great and they do have a good brother and sister bickering dynamic going on. Both clans have 5 wardens, which basically fills the character limit void left by the lack of gym leaders. Each warden is assigned to watch over one of the noble Pokemon, 5 of them being the bosses and 5 of them being the rideable Pokemon that you can use. Overall, they are used pretty effectively, and unless their name is Melli, then you don't want to hit them. All of them have really solid designs where you can link between them and their future descendants. A lot of these are obvious, like Arazu to Mars and Silene to Cyrus, but some are more subtle, and possibly wrong, like Melli to Lucian and Professor Laventon to Hop and Leon. I guess he did say he was from Galar, innit? Smelwick Galar. If you've noticed I've missed someone, then you are correct, and also clever enough to wait for the mention of the best character, Pearl Warden Inga. When creating all of the other wardens, Game Freak took time to place a lot of care and deliberation into designing the characters' links to the descendants through their appearance. However, when initially designing an ancestor for Ingo, they quickly realised that he was the perfect character with the perfect design. So instead of creating a new character for this game, they just zipped him straight from black and white, and now he's the only character other than the protagonist that has been sent back in time from the modern games. During his portion of the game, he touches on the faint memories he has left, mentioning his Chandelure, his partner Emmett, and the battle subway from Black and White. If Game Freak don't develop this and send him and the MC back to the future in DLC, then what's the point? What is the point of it all? Straight out of the 90s, the focus is on catching them all again, so thank God that the catching is really satisfying. I think 90% of that comes from the little firework that pops out when you capture something. Filling out the Pokédex and raising your star rank is also fulfilling, however it would benefit from some more additional tasks outside of using agile and strong moves, and the rewards for star rank 9 and 10 are so non-existent that they might as well not exist. Crafting is a thing now. There's a bunch of trinkets and doodads scattered all across the map which can be used to craft the items you need. Most of all the Pokeballs that people know from the other games are out the window, and in their place remain the usual 3, a light variant used for catching flying Pokemon, and a heavy variant for catching Pokemon unaware, or as the game likes to put it, catching them unawares. Is that right? Either way, they're cool additions, but it would be nice to see more from it. It would have made sense to see some of the Apricot balls that were precursors to the modern Pokeball. The movement is nice and responsive with a nice weight to it, and you now have the option to dodge roll. Oh god. Oh my Elden Ring. The boss fights are the furthest thing from a Pokemon game that has ever happened in a Pokemon game. They're fun, and the last couple do offer quite a bit of challenge, but they could be improved upon if there were more ways to cause damage other than the aforementioned repeated bags of food. That being said, when I battled all the bosses, I never threw my Pokemon out to fight them, and when they got stunned I just continued throwing bags, so it's nice you get the choice to do either way I guess. The ride Pokemon from Sun and Moon are back, and most are pretty good. Weirdeer is the bike replacement, being 50% of the Skyrim horse, as you can either scale a vertical wall or get completely blocked by a pebble. Ursaluna acts as the item finder. I used it once to get the evolution item for Ursaluna, and haven't used it since. Basculegion being the surf replacement was probably the best overall. The turning feels satisfying, and it was nice having a double jump and the ability to catch things in slowdown. Probably something that every one of the mounts should have. I was sneezed to meet Sneasler, being the rock climb replacement. It was the mount that I was least looking forward to, however it is pretty damn helpful in places. You'll still try to scale the cliff using the bird, however. Speaking of, the flying replacement Braviary was the mount that I, like most people, were probably looking forward to the most. And while it is still the best mount, maybe, it could have been so much better. Whilst doing some of the balloon courses, you notice that the turn circle can be absolutely abhorrent at times. It's more like a glider than actually flying, so to improve it they should probably make either the initial jump a lot higher and faster, or just replace it with the soaring thing from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Another major improvement overall could be the use of a menu wheel over cycling through them one by one. However, I will take cycling through them one by one over the existence of HMs, so that's another win for Legends Arceus in my books. There's actually only like 5 battles against trainers in the game that you actually have to use Pokemon for. All the noble Pokemon and alphas can just be stunned or caught. However, that's not to say that battling is just gone. In fact, it's back and maybe better than ever, though I can't quite tell yet as there's no multiplayer battling at all. The biggest battle change being the addition of strong and agile moves. With the action order system, choosing either strong or agile once a Pokemon has mastered that move allows you to focus on power or speed, either hitting harder and more accurately, or potentially attacking twice in a row. It could be cool to see it being used competitively, but there's probably some overly broken stuff that would get abused. Quick roll time. Abilities are gone, which kinda sucks. Breeding Pokemon is gone, which sucked at first, but every Pokemon is so easily obtainable that it's fine, I guess. Natures are still here, which is good because you can change them easily with the mint items, and most importantly, EVs and IVs are gone and have been replaced with ELs, aka effort levels. Effort levels let you upgrade each stat from 1 to 10, and once they are leveled to 10 and have their nature change so they are battle ready, that's it. No more grinding for 20 hours to get perfect EVs, IVs, HIVs for every competitive Pokemon. All you gotta do is pelt some rocks and they're good to go. You know, if multiplayer battling was a thing. There are also tons of quality of life improvements which hopefully all get carried forward to Gen 9 and onwards. For example, the ability to change a Pokemon's nicknames and movesets on the fly. I should also touch on shiny hunting. Whilst the odds are still 1 in 4,000 to begin with, as random encounters are gone and all the Pokemon are visible on the overworld, you are way more likely to randomly encounter them. Furthermore, those shiny odds are greatly reduced the more research you do on that Pokemon, and they're even halved with the shiny charm. Even further is the new mass outbreak feature. When a Pokemon icon pops up on the map, if you go over to the icon, it will spawn about 10 to 15 of that Pokemon. In a mass outbreak, without any research tasks being done, and without the shiny charm, the worst odds you can get for a shiny is 1 in 158. That is absolutely bonkers. In Brilliant Diamond, I made the stupid idea that before I was finished with the game, I wanted to do a couple shiny hunts. The first of these being the legendary Pokemon Giritina. In this encounter, the shiny rate is also 1 in 4,096. I started that on the 1st of December, and 2 months later, and 19,452 resets later, I finally caught the bugger. 5 times over the odds. Statistically, I should have had 5 of the buggers. It had taken me 2 months to find 1 shiny Pokemon in Brilliant Diamond, yet after only 1 week of playing Legends Arceus, I had found 17. Currently I'm sat on 3 boxes of shinies and I haven't even touched a game in over a week due to finally finishing some other games off of my backlog. Sure wish I kept on doing that instead of spending 2 months on the fucking Giratina. Oh god. I just saw the menu transition. On the fucking visual section, Jesus. I think anyone who has used the internet around the launch of Legends Arceus has seen enough discussion around the graphics of the game. Never mentioned trees around a Pokemon fan. Worst mistake of my life. But yeah, the graphics are dogshit. Specifically, the environments looking super flat and comparable to even GameCube games. I think that's mainly due to the lighting system, because barely a month later we've already seen better looking Pokemon just from the lighting itself. However, I think the models of the characters and Pokemon themselves look great, although it is hard to mess those up considering they've been using the same ones since X and Y. Don't have to fix what's not broken. The animations though are the best they've ever been, and the UI is visually appealing and thematically applicable. They did a really good job in this game of reducing clutter and text boxes to keep things flowing. So it's like a 50-50 split for this section. Pokemon games are some of the most opinionated pieces of media in existence. However, the Pokemon franchise suffers from something I like to call the Sonic disease. This is a condition where no matter how good or shitty the game is, the soundtrack for said game will absolutely slap without fail. Case study example being the Heartwood, the forest area in which you fight the first boss of the game. As you enter, it's mysterious and foreboding, with various instruments simulating the critters of the forest as they scuttle past. Then, 3.5 minutes into it, it hits you with this. and you realise, holy shit, I've been in Eterna Forest the entire time. That's that place from that one game. That's where the soundtrack really excels. It's able to use motifs from the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl OSTs to enhance the environmental storytelling of the world set way back in the day. You then automatically start piecing together connections between prequel and sequel. Where is this area in relation to its future counterpoint? Who is this character an ancestor of? I would love to show you the best example of this, but as it's the final battle of the game, it would be a massive spoiler. Let's just say that the theme goes hard, the battle itself is hard, the sound design is also fantastic. Everything feels super adaptive to its environment. For example, you can take how satisfying the capture noise already is and put that in an ice cave. That's the stuff. It's not perfect, but hey, this is the biggest step forward that the Pokemon franchise has taken in about 10 years. If Game Freak takes this foundation of Legends Arceus, they could potentially develop a sequel actually living up to the whole highest growing franchise thing they have going on. You could make Pokemon Legends Celebi with the Burning Tower and the history of Johto, Legends Kyurem with the original dragon alongside the inevitable Gen 5 remakes that will have everyone hyped for about a month before realising it won't be worth it, and Legends Zygarde set in medieval France with the war and the 9-foot-tall bloke. Finally giving my boy the game he deserves. Hell, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, which were announced after I started work on this video, looks like they're taking that correct step in the right direction by combining all the good properties of Legends Arceus with the more hardcore mainline mechanics. But as we all know from Mega Evolutions, Game Freak can't keep a good thing up for more than 2 games, so I can't wait for Pokemon Let's Go Johto immediately afterwards. For now, Legends Arceus was a breath of fresh air and the potential basis for the entire future of the Pokemon franchise, and therefore gets a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching the entire video and or skipping to the end. Please subscribe below and follow me on Twitter and Twitch, or else I will find you. I am currently 100 meters from your location. 90, 80, 70.